Hey guys, what's up and welcome back! Today we're going to be testing out the brand new ColourPop Color Dye Eyeshadow Palette Vault. And I'm so glad I got my hands on this before it sold out. I'm honestly shocked. That never happens to me. And how stinking cute is this vault? You have this kind of tri-fold spread. You just lay them all out. It comes nicely packaged. You have the palette Aura in Out and a Trance. And then the last palette in this vault is Miss Bliss. So how this video is going to go is first I'm going to go ahead and swatch all of these shadows for you guys in each palette, and then we're going to go into how I created this makeup look right here. So it might be a little bit of a long one, but fast forward when you need to, or sit tight, watch the whole thing. Okay, so this first one here is Aura and Out, and it is this beautiful yellowy green blue color story. These colors are beyond beautiful and you can make endless looks with them. Okay, and this is what the Aura and Out palette looks swatched here. As you can see, you have the perfect amount of matte shades, you have more sheer metallic shades, and then you have these in-your-face bright metallic shades. Honestly, so beautiful. You can make some really beautiful colors with this. Okay, next one up is my personal favorite. This one is in a trance, and these purple and metallic shades are so on point, and then these beautiful pinky tones. Beautiful. This is definitely my favorite palette out of this entire collection. This shade right here, the shade Clarity, is beaming off of my lights. Last but not least, we have Miss Bliss here, which is kind of like a tangerine and pink color story. And of course, you have that little pop of metallic shimmer right there in the middle for you guys. Okay, and last but not least, we have Miss Bliss. I'm living for this shade right here. This is the shade Loves It, and it is such a beautiful bubblegum pink shade, and everyone knows I am about that. Seriously, just 9 different shades of heaven. I love this collection. Okay, so those were the 3 eyeshadow palettes swatched. I don't know what your guys' favorite are, but I'm gonna go ahead and rank mine real quick. Top contender, we have In a Trance. My number 1 out of this entire collection. I think it just speaks to me the most. I'm obsessed with it. Number 2, we have Aura and Out. And this one is self-explanatory why it's my number 2, because if you've been following me on social media, you know I've been so obsessed with green eyeshadows lately. And I mean, this palette is just so lovely for so many different reasons. And last but not least, and it's not because I hate it, I actually still really adore this palette, but Miss Bliss comes in last place, but that is okay. It's okay, Miss Bliss. Just because honestly, these other 2 palettes are more interesting and I'm just lusting after them more than Miss Bliss, but I do still really love all the different shades in this palette. I mean, this color right here, this color, I mean, I still love it. I don't want to write her off. I know I'm going to be using these ones more. Alright guys, now getting into the makeup look. Thank you for sticking around this far along. Today's makeup look is, yes, you guessed it, using all 3 palettes. Not saying you can't make one beautiful look from just, from just one palette, but I just really wanted to test these all out in one full swoop, so we're using all 3 palettes today. Alright guys, let's go ahead and get into it. Alright guys, so as you can see, the rest of my face is already on, except my eyeshadow, because of course we're going to be putting some eyeshadow on to test these goodies out. And as I had already mentioned, I am going to be using all 3 palettes to create, one look today to really get that tie-dye effect. But I just really want to give these a fair review, and since I have all 3 of them right here in front of me, that's what we're doing today. So I think the first one I'm going to go ahead and start out with is Aura and Out, and I really want to start out with this one because you have these beautiful kind of yellowy, kind of orangey shades, so I really want to start out with that maybe as a transition. With that being said, the first shade I am going into is the shade Eurovision, and the brush I'm using, no, it does not have color on it. These are just colored brushes, so I'm just going to be taking the shade right here and using it as my transition. And yes, we have a lot of fallout in the pan. I get that with almost every eyeshadow that I own. It's very rare that I don't have that. But as long as there's not a lot of fallout on my actual eye, that's honestly all I care about. So because these are pastel shades, these are going on just as expected, very neutral and light. And you know what I want to do? I kind of want to try out the shade Deeper. This is in the shade Solar Hour. So I'm just gonna take a smidgen of that and just kind of apply that right on top of what I had just done. Okay, very, very light pastel and beautiful. Let's go ahead and take another palette right now. I'm sure I'll be coming back to this. Okay, and the second palette I'm going to use as of right now, I'm going to be going in with the Miss Bliss palette, and I am going to be going in with this shade right here. This is in the shade Love It. I'm going to be putting this on my outer corner. So I'm going to take a little bit more of a flatter blending brush just to kind of pack that on my outer corner. So I'm just taking a little bit of this Love It shade right there and just kind of putting that on the outer corner here. And I'm not sure if I have to go in with more of the green color to kind of blend this out. Most likely. We'll see what it looks like once I'm done applying it. But these are actually going on very, very beautiful. I honestly don't think I have found one ColourPop eyeshadow that I do not like. I just all around really, really love their formulas. Okay, and now that we got some pink on, I just want to go in with the TRANCE palette just to get my other color on, and then we can go in and kind of blend and add some other colors from the other palettes. The color that I really want to pack on next is this lighter periwinkle shade. This is in the shade Future Self. So I'm just taking that same brush and picking up a little bit of product here on my brush, tapping off the excess, and I'm just going to be patting that on my inner. Okay. And I love pastels because, like I always say, I like to go on lighter so I can build up a product instead of going in firsthand too dark right away, because we are going to be building up this look quite a bit. So I'm going to start with the lighter shades first. Okay, and what I want to do now, I kind of want to go in with more of a wispier color, and I want to go in with this little darker of a purple shade here. This is in the shade Own Your Power. So I'm just going to be taking a little bit of that right on my brush here, swirl that right around, and just kind of buffing it around the pink area out here, just to kind of extend that outside my outer corner. This is the most fallout I've actually gotten in a ColourPop eyeshadow palette before. But like I said, as long as there's no fallout on my actual eye, I don't really care about the fallout in the palette. That can always be kind of just brushed away. Okay, and like I said, we are gonna deepen this look up here. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do now, I'm gonna go in with a little bit of a darker green shade. I'm gonna go in with the shade Fresh Cut here, and I'm just gonna take that first brush I use to dab that in there. And I'm actually going to be using this shade to blend out the upper crease of what I originally did with the yellow, just to really, really get that tie-dye effect and get those colors really blended in together. Alright, and now what I'm dying to do is go in with some shimmer shades just to really see how those pick up from the palette onto my eyes. And with the metallics, I do like to use my finger. So I'm going to be going in again with the Miss Bliss palette, and I'm going to be using this shade right on top of my outer corner here. This is in the shade Chakra to Me. So again, I'm just picking a little bit up with my finger and just kind of dabbing that on my outer corner here. Oh. And ColourPop metallic formulas never fail me. Okay, and this is a matte shimmer shade, so I am going to be going in with my flatter brush again. This is in the shade Transcend Dance, so I'm just using that same brush that I used before where I put the lighter shade here, just dusting that right off. It does have a lot of fallout, guys. I don't want to not say that enough. I really want to give you guys a good review on that. Oh, this is going on so nice. And honestly, now that I think about it, I could have probably skipped the first step with the Future Self shade since I was putting this one on top. But you know what? We're just going through the motions and we're just going as we go, right? That's what they say. So I'm just going to be going in again with the Or and Out palette. I'm just going to go in with the Energetics shimmer shade right there and just kind of dab that on the middle part of this eye look. And usually I like to put glitter shades all over my lid with glitters like this, but for today, I'm just putting that right in the middle there. Okay, and I'm just gonna go ahead and go in with a pencil brush, and I'm gonna be picking up this very, very bright shade here. This is in the shade Healing Heart, and I'm just gonna be picking up a little bit of that because that bad boy is going in my inner corner. Oh my goodness, that is stunning. And I always save the bottom of my lash line for last, last lash line. I don't know, it's just something I do. I know a lot of people do that as they go, but when I'm gonna go in, picked up the wrong palette, I'm gonna be going in again with the Aura Now palette, and I'm gonna be going in with this green shade here, tapping off the excess, and I'm just gonna be blending that down here. All right, now I'm gonna be going in with a flatter brush just to kind of really get in my tighter lash line there. And I am going to be going in again with TRANCE Dance and just get that right on the tip there, tap off that excess, and really get that on my lower lash line. And you know what, as I'm looking at this palette, this shade right here is calling to me. This is in the shade Daydream Baby. I just really want to use as many colors in these palettes just to really get a feel for how they blend together. And again, I'm just putting that on the outer lash line, just a tidbit here. Okay, I actually really like that shade. That shade is quite nice. And not a lot of fallout from the underneath of my eye. If anything, the glitter that I put on is the only thing that kind of had a little bit of fallout because it's more of a loose glitter. But for the amount of fallout from these pans and how pigmented they are, I'm super shocked that they didn't have a lot of fallout from the underneath of my eye. I have not been into false lashes lately. I don't know if that's just me. I've been really loving my natural lashes lately. So I'm just going in with the Huda Beauty Legit Lashes, putting on some mascara, and then I think our look is completed. Okay guys, and now that our mascara is on, our eyeshadow look is now complete. All in all, for pastels, these are actually pretty pigmented, and I love that there are darker pastel shades in these palettes because that's what really helps build these shades up, and you can make so many beautiful looks with just one palette. It gives you just enough shade range in each of these, but it was really, really fun building this look from all three palettes. Okay guys, as always, if you like this video, go ahead and give it a big old thumbs up for me. And if you want to see more, go ahead and subscribe below so you don't miss a thing. Alright guys, until next time, I'll see you soon.